Senate will come to order. The senators will take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privileges of the floor will retire to the gallery. Good morning, senators. Good morning. Good morning, guests. The senators and those in our gallery, if you are able, please rise. We will be led in prayer this morning by the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan Jr. of First Unitarian Universalist Church, the senior pastor in Richmond. Following the prayer, everyone will please remain standing, and we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America by our Senate page, Aubrey Hubbard of Washington.
May we pray. Spirit of life and love, God of our own understanding, as we open today's session of the Senate, we invite the spirit of justice, liberty, and freedom to gather and mingle in the chambers with us. We pray for these senators who have been entrusted with the responsibility of governing our Commonwealth and representing our diverse interests and needs. We ask that you bless them with wisdom, courage, compassion, and integrity as they face the challenges and opportunities of their office. May they work together in spirit and cooperation and collaboration, listening to each other with respect and humility and seeking to understand the perspective and experiences of those who are different from them. May they be inspired by the vision of the beloved community where all people are valued and respected, where diversity is celebrated and embraced, and where peace and justice prevail, and where love is the ultimate law. Spirit of life and love, we thank you for the gift of this day, and may we remember that we're not alone, but that we are part of a larger whole, connected by the web of love and grace. May this be so. Amen. Ashe.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll. All those present, please vote aye. The clerk will close the roll.
As you have a quorum, Madam President. Senate Journal for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024.
The senator from Eastern Prince William, Senator Carol Foy, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All those in favor of waiving the reading of the journal will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 37, noes 1.
Ayes 37, noes 1. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will report any communications from the House of Delegates. Chair recognizes the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Sassler.
Not yet. I'm not that old.
I'm sorry, Senator, it's habit. Senator Sorovel.
I don't know whether to be offended or not. Madam President, good afternoon, by the way.
Good afternoon.
I'd move to waive reading the communication from the House of Delegates.
The question is, shall the reading of the communication be waived? All in favor of waiving the reading of the communication from the House of Delegates will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The reading of the communication from the House of Delegates is waived. The clerk will report any communications from the governor.
We do not have any, Madam President.
We have arrived at the time in our morning hour when we will hear who all of you are, you wonderful folks in the gallery. And what the normal procedure is that the senators will rise and tell us who you are. Please rise at that time when you hear your name or your organization, and hold your applause until after I recognize you, and then we will give you a rounding applause. And so with that, I call on Senator Hashmi, the senator from Chesterfield.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Today's invocation was given to us by the Reverend Sherman J. Logan, Jr., who serves as senior minister with the First Unitarian Universalist Church in Richmond. Madam President, I've had many opportunities to visit the First Unitarian Universalist Church, and I find that the congregation there and the ministry there is among the most compassionate and the most welcoming in the Richmond area. I personally find it to be a spiritual home for me, and I thank the congregation and especially Reverend Sherman for the warm welcome that they always provide. Reverend Sherman, in his invocation, mentioned the beloved community, and I think we hear that phrase often, and too often it is not said with the profound depth and understanding that it ought to be. But when Reverend Sherman and his congregation speak about the beloved community, they in fact put their faith into practice. We see that as evidence in the many ways in which they embrace and support everyone and include so many people and all the diversity in their ministry. And so I thank them for all their efforts, and I ask that we give the warm welcome of the Senate.
Well, Reverend Logan, I don't think I can add any more to all that the senator has so well said about you. Thank you for all you do in your wonderful community. Senators, let us give Reverend Logan the warm welcome of his Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Jordan. Moving along, Chair recognizes Senator Reeves, the senator from. Chair recognizes Senator Deeds, the senator from Charlottesville.
Madam President, I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
In the gallery today are representatives from Virginia Humanities, including Matthew Gibson, the executive director. Founded in 1974, Virginia Humanities is one of 56 humanities councils created by Congress, with funding and support from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Their primary mission is to connect Virginians by exploring their history, literature, and cultural traditions and the issues that matter to them. I ask that you give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. So I understand that one of the reasons that the Virginia Humanities was created was so that we could explore our history. And a wise man once said, those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. So thank you for keeping it alive. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Jordan, the senator from Isle of Wight.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for 2 introductions.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. As tradition holds, every 4th Wednesday in January is designated as Brunswick Stew Day at the Capitol. This year, Stewmaster Jonathan Lee Brown, the winner of the Taste of Brunswick Festival, is here with his entire team, including Brunswick County's Board of Supervisors, Economic Development Team, and so many volunteers to promote the time-honored tradition of the real home of Brunswick stew. A special thank you to all the volunteers that have descended upon the Capitol Square today, this morning at 1 a.m. to make sure that we had a tasty treat today in the Capitol. A little known fact that you may all not know, actually Madam Clerk hails from Brunswick County, Virginia, but I hear that she has a different recipe for the stew. We'll hope that she'll make it for us another day. But with that, I hope it is the will of the Senate to give our friends from Brunswick County and all of the work they put in today for our Brunswick stew a warm welcome of the Senate.
So I note that I was invited, and this is exactly what it said, to stir the pot. I think it is the only time when it is acceptable to stir the political pot. So thank you so much for that wonderful stew. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Senator Jordan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For my second introduction.
The Senate will come to order.
Madam President, my deepest apologies.
No offense taken, Senator.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for a second introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll get it right, I promise. Joining us today in the gallery are representatives of Virginia's local hospitals and health systems, which serve communities throughout the Commonwealth. All Virginia private hospitals are members of the Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association, we better know here as VHHA, an alliance of 111 hospitals representing 26 member health systems across our Commonwealth. If they would stand. In addition to providing high-quality, accessible health care to all Virginians, our local hospitals and health systems are major economic engines, employing directly over 124,000 in our Commonwealth and providing $3.3 billion in economic support and community support. Madam President, I hope it will be the will of the Senate to give the members of VHHA a warm welcome.
So many of our citizens do not have hospitals located near their communities, especially in the rural areas. And so we're so fortunate that you are there advocating on behalf of our hospitals and our healthcare centers. Thank you for all that you do. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair again recognizes Senator Reeves, the senator from Orange.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, today I'm proud to introduce Dr. L. Trice Gravitt, a constituent of mine from Culpeper, Virginia. He is our doc for the day. And Madam President, he's been doing it since the 90s to ensure that our colleagues, staffers here in the Senate body stay healthy during our intense legislative session. The good doctor is a member of the Virginia Academy of Family Physicians, Medical Society of Virginia, assistant professor of family medicine residency at the University of Virginia. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Gravitt for joining us today and his service not only to the District 28, my new district, but to the Virginia General Assembly. Doctor, good to see you, and thank you, Madam President, if you'll give him the welcome of the Senate.
Thank you, Doctor, for coming, and thank you for the many people that you have healed, the many people I'm sure you've counseled, the many recommendations that you've made that would change lives. Thank you. Senators, let us give the doctor the warm welcome of his Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for the purpose of 2 introductions.
The senator may continue.
Thank you, Madam President. The first introduction is for the Virginia Pharmacy Association. And I would, I would note that the Virginia Pharmacy Association, along with the Virginia Society of Health System Pharmacists and the pharmacy schools of the Commonwealth, are here in force today talking to lawmakers about issues important in the whole drug space, shall I say. The association and schools represent pharmacy doctors and pharmacy professionals. But I do want to note that as we move past the pandemic, pharmacists are available for testing and treatment for the flu, for COVID, for strep, and for a number of other common conditions and ailments. They're much more available and accessible than other parts of your healthcare system. So if you need a pharmacist, I encourage you to visit one. And now that you're in the General Assembly, you may want to open your door and hear what they have to say. I do hope it is the wish of the Senate to welcome these groups, these pharmacy-related groups.
Welcome, pharmacists. Your role has indeed changed, well, from Coca-Cola days, as you know, and now you're doing shots and other things. Thank you for being there. The local health care, right where we need you. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair again recognizes Senator Favola.
Thank you, Madam President. So my second introduction is for the Cannabis Equity Coalition of Virginia. And this group advocates for and provides advice on how to expunge or seal records of an individual who may have been convicted of a past marijuana-related offense. But now that many of those offenses have been decriminalized, the need to actually expunge or seal records is very important, and it is a step forward in enabling individuals to start a new life. So I encourage you to welcome members of the Cannabis Equity Coalition as they knock on your door and discuss issues that are important to them and I think to the Commonwealth. Thank you, Madam President.
Welcome, members. Thank you for coming, and thank you for advocating on behalf of your certain group. We have to hear all voices, and second chances are in order, as always. Thank you. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Hackworth, the senator from Tazewell.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purpose of introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, today in the gallery we have the Tazewell County chapter of 4-H representing, it's also Tazewell, Smith, and Bland, which represents the 5th District, and we are just privileged to have them. For over a century, 4-H has been empowering young individuals, fostering their growth and instilling in them the core values necessary for becoming responsible and engaged members of society. But first and foremost, 4-H excels in its dedication to developing leadership skills. And so I would like for you to give them the warmest welcome of the Senate. Thank you, Madam President.
Good afternoon. Developing leadership skills, indeed. We absolutely need leaders, and that you're doing it so very young is a treasure. Thank you for being there. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Van Valkenburg, the junior senator from Henrico.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, members of the Senate. Today joining us in the Senate gallery is a delegation from Reynolds Community College, led by their president, Dr. Paul Lapando. Reynolds opened its doors in 1972 and serves more than 15,000 students at its 4 campuses in the Richmond area. They stand as a beacon of innovation and opportunity and reflect an unwavering commitment to economic growth and workforce development. And over the last few years, they've made substantial investments in state-of-the-art learning environments tailored to the high-demand fields that we need them to help us with. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't note that one of us is a member of their family, the senator from Chesterfield. And so I'd hope that we give them a warm Senate welcome.
Welcome to you. We know the value of community colleges, and as the senator said, you have been contributing and continue in economic growth and workforce development. And some of us have been wondering, where have all the people gone? But you are there to help bring our workforce back in place. Thank you. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Boysko, the senator from northwestern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I rise for two introductions, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam President. Today, the midwife is Midwife Advocacy Day in the General Assembly. And it's my pleasure to introduce the American College of Nurse Midwives and the Virginia Midwife Alliance. These organizations proudly represent Virginia's certified nurse midwives, certified midwives, and licensed professional midwives. Their members are primary care providers for women throughout their lifespan, with a special emphasis on pregnancy, childbirth, and gynecologic and reproductive health. The midwives are here today to educate us on the profession of midwifery, advocate for the preservation of safe and accessible reproductive health care, anti-bias initiatives within the healthcare system, and the modernization of the advanced practice nursing and midwifery regulations, all aimed at enhancing our collective access to care. And I ask that you give them a warm Senate welcome.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming again to see your Senate. Thank you for your advocacy, and thank you for being in the medical space that you are. You are absolutely needed and appreciated. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Senator Boysko.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for a second introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Yes, ma'am. Today is Cannabis Minority and Small Business Entrepreneur Lobby Day. And I have some representatives here who are in the cannabis products producing business, making flower, concentrates, and edibles, licensed in other states, including Maine. I'm also have my former constituent, Philip Thompson, here, who is working in the cannabis equity space to help make certain that we are ensuring diversity and equity as we consider a legal marketplace. And the Richmond Crusade of Voters, which is a community-based organization that works to empower voters at the local, state, and national issue. These individuals are here to advocate for a marketplace that is fair and equitable, including the most impacted by law enforcement efforts over the last several decades. They believe that it's best when we ensure minority and small business entrepreneurs the opportunity to participate in a marketplace here in Virginia. And I ask that you give them a very special Senate welcome. Thank you.
If you are in the gallery, please rise. Well, for the record, we thank them for coming because we know that they are visiting all their senators and delegates. You all, of course, are here, but of course, their voices must also be heard. So we thank them for coming. Chair recognizes Senator Lucas, the senator from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise today to introduce a Community Action Agency Day at the Capitol.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm sorry, I just kept running right over myself. I rise today to introduce some very special guests to me in the attendance today. The Virginia Community Action Partnership is a statewide association representing our Commonwealth's 31 community action agencies. Our community action agencies are in Richmond today to thank all of you for your investment in the life-changing services they provide that create pathways from poverty to opportunity and prosperity. They also are here to advocate for investing statewide in the successful Whole Family Pilot Project approach to lifting families out of poverty. This approach has bipartisan support and proven results in urban, suburban, and rural communities. Thank you to Senator Locke and Senator Pillion for your budget amendments to fund the innovation approach. They're also partnering with the Virginia Cash Campaign, which is a volunteer income tax assistance network to advocate for investment in volunteer coordination that help low-income Virginians get access to state and federal income tax credits. I appreciate Senator Eben and Senator Williams-Graves for carrying these budget amendments on these very important investments. For every $1 of state investment in community action, this network leverages an additional $14 in federal, state, and local private sources to focus on economic mobility through increasing workforce participation, offering workforce training, providing free tax preparation assistance sites for low-income Virginians, operating model Head Start programs, weatherization homes, providing whole family coaching that brings whole families out of poverty, increasing broadband adoption resources, and so much, much more. It was my honor to serve as the Chief Executive Officer of the STOP organization in Hampton Roads and to support this network during my time here in the legislature. Today, I'm pleased to introduce the representatives of the Virginia Community Action Partnership with us here today from across Virginia, and a special warm welcome to the region's agencies of STOP and Hampton Roads Community Action Program. The delegation in the gallery today are led by Virginia CAP Board Chair Kevin Ade, HR CAP Edith White, CEO of HR CAP, and Mr. George Reed, who incidentally was on the board when I was there 40 years ago. And also to the board emeritus chair, and Eric Johnson, CEO of Virginia Community Action Agency Partnership. Madam President, I know that was a lot, but I would appreciate it if you would extend to these wonderful people the very warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon. Now, we've heard so much that you've done and are continuing to do, and if you'll allow me to just pull one of those phrases out, and that's you're lifting families out of poverty. And that's such a noble cause, and that you're trying to see what works so you're not wedded to one idea, because as you know, it's different for everyone. And if the idea is to lift out of poverty, then we've got to see what works for this family and this family and this family. So thank you. And senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Sturtevant, the senator from Colonial Heights.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, members of the Senate, joining us today in the gallery are a number of students, faculty, and staff from several schools in our area. They are here for the Kids Deserve More Day of Action hosted by the Family Foundation. We've got students from Grace Christian School in Hanover, Banner Christian School, and Clover Hill Christian Academy in Chesterfield, Grove Christian School in Henrico, and Atlantic Shores Christian School. They're here advocating for education choice and freedom and learning more about the legislative process. And I would ask that we offer them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon, students. As you can see, advocating for your issue is very important. No one knows your story in the way that you do. And thank you for telling everyone where you stand on whatever your issue is at all times. Thank you. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Bagby, the senior senator from Enrico.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the Senate. Joining us in the gallery today are members of the union SEIU. And the members from SEIU 32BJ and SEIU Virginia 512 are essential workers who make our Commonwealth a better place across the Commonwealth, every corner of the Commonwealth. SEIU members work hard every day at home as home care workers, janitors in the counties and in cities, as employees, airport workers, and more. Throughout the pandemic, SEIU members were on the front lines of keeping our communities healthy, safe, and moving forward. United in their union, SEIU members fight for economic, racial, and immigrant justice so that all Virginians can not only survive but thrive. Madam President, as I met with them today in my office, and I know many of you met with them today in your office, I was reminded of how we started the morning, Madam President, and that is in devotion and prayer in the Speaker's office. And that scripture that Tyrone Nelson shared with us this morning reminded me of the work that they do. The gospel in Matthew, it directs me to the work that they do. And loving and making sure that we have a mandate from up above to make sure that we're looking out for our brothers and sisters. And so many of them are working hard to make it happen for themselves, but they have made time throughout the year, not just today, but making time throughout the year to be a voice for the voiceless. And so I hope that you will be so kind to give them a warm Senate welcome.
Thank you for what you do. We've heard the testimony of the senator on your behalf of all the good that you're doing in the community. Thank you for representing the underrepresented. Again, senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Perry, the junior senator from Loudoun.
Good morning, Madam President. I rise to speak for the purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
With us today, we have two constituents from Loudoun County, Eric and Drew Sasak. Eric has lived in Loudoun County for 21 years and has taught in Loudoun County middle schools for 19 of those years. Currently, he is an 8th grade civics teacher at Blue Ridge Middle School in Purcellville, and his son, Drew, is 9 years old and attends Round Hill Elementary School. Eric plays several different roles in our community. He's on the church board at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church and the board of the Neighborhood Learning Center. He volunteers as a youth baseball and basketball coach in Western Loudoun and is the program director for the Extreme Journey Education Summer Camp for middle schoolers. He's been recognized by several organizations for his outstanding achievements in education and community leadership. Drew loves reading and especially loves reading history books. He's here with his dad today learning all about our history as a legislature and the Commonwealth. He's a member of the Minecraft, Lego, and running clubs at Round Hill Elementary School and plays both basketball and baseball in Western Loudoun. He's also an active member of his youth church group at St. Andrew's. I'm thrilled to be able to introduce both Eric and Drew to the body today as my constituents and hope we can all offer them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to the both of you. After hearing the senator tell us that you are very much involved in summer camp, on boards, coaching Little League, active in your church, and you teach civics, trying to figure out when you sleep. But thank you. Thank you both for coming and watching your Senate in action. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Pillion, senator from Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. In the gallery today, We also have 4-H students from Washington County who are a part of a cohort of more than 100 students visiting the Capitol from Southwest Virginia. In fact, several of these students up here are my patients, and I would ask you to give them the warm welcome in the Senate.
Good afternoon. I won't ask you if it's like pulling teeth being with the senator. But thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of our legislative process. Senators, let us give these young people the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Locke, the senator from Hampton.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you. In the gallery, we have representatives from Birth in Color visiting with us today. Birth in Color is an organization committed to addressing the staggering disparities surrounding maternal, reproductive, and infant health, which stem from structural and institutional racism. Their mission is grounded in the pursuit of maternal and reproductive justice to advance human rights, aiming to amplify voices often marginalized and overlooked. Their core values expressed by the acronym COLOR include change, outcomes, listening, observation, and rapport. They are dedicated to driving tangible change in maternal health outcomes, and their focus remains steadfast on achieving positive and equitable outcomes. They actively listen to the needs and concerns of the communities they serve, observe and acknowledge the systemic challenges faced by marginalized groups. Building strong relationships and rapport with the communities, the providers, and partnering organizations is at the heart of their approach. Please join me in welcoming the doulas and Kendra Sutton L., the founding executive director of Birth in Color.
Good afternoon. So the senator has said, in all that she has said, that you actively listen to those you serve. And as someone once said, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So thank you. Thank you for listening and then for letting us know what you've heard. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Stewart, the senator from King George.
Thank you, Madam President. Ross, for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. In the gallery today, we have some folks here from the Virginia Association of Museums. And Madam President, I hope that there they are. Madam President, the Virginia Association of Museums was founded in 1968, has a membership of 2,500 museum professionals from throughout the Commonwealth. We have more than 800 museums, galleries, and cultural sites that account for more than 28,000 jobs in Virginia. These museums create $1.8 billion in financial impact on Virginia's economy, and the typical museum spends 75% of their education budget directly on K-12 students, with 1.6 million school-age children visiting our museums annually. It's a pretty significant impact on our economy. We do, as all of you all know in Virginia, have an incredibly rich cultural and natural community, and the Commonwealth's historic sites, museums, and science centers every day underscore our state and leading partners in upcoming national anniversaries. Our museums and humanities programs are not only stewards of our history, but they're the cornerstone of a very vibrant tourism industry. And we've got some folks up there. I see a constituent of the senator from Alexandria who's not here. I'm sorry, he is here. Constituent of the senator of Alexandria and one of the senators from Fairfax, and who represent 2 really fine institutions in my district, Stratford Hall and Minokan, who do really good work about teaching early colonial life to a lot of young people in Virginia. And so, Madam President, I would ask that you offer them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. We heard about the K-12 area that you help, and I can tell you we all looked forward to the field trip when we had to come to the museum, and some of us for good because we wanted to learn, and others, not so much. But we are grateful that you're there, and the $1.8 billion that you contribute to our economy. Who knew You do. Thank you. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Salim, the senator from Central Fairfax County.
Madam President, I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Today in the gallery, we have the Satoshi Action Fund and the Virginia Blockchain Council. The Satoshi Action Fund is a nonprofit organization which educates on digital assets like Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, a growing industry in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Last year, an estimated 3,000 Bitcoins were created or mined in Virginia with a market value of approximately $120 million. This activity supported approximately 100 jobs and provided a tax revenue of $18 million. The Virginia Blockchain Council is a nonprofit organization focusing on advocacy, community building, and education in the blockchain and Web3 space. They aim to help bring competitiveness and innovation to the blockchain and Web3 ecosystem in Virginia. Please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the Satoshi Action Fund and the Virginia Blockchain Council.
Good afternoon. We are all wondering if you had a few coins for us. Hearing none, thank you so much for being in the financial arena. And you do provide jobs and the millions that comes back in the form of taxes, which of course helps our local communities as well as the state. Thank you for what you do. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair again recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise once again for purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. In the gallery, we have members from the Arlington 4-H Club. And I will say that, of course, the 4-H effort probably started in rural communities, but it has certainly developed as into an important asset for urban areas as well. And there are areas that the 4-H provides classes and workshops. One of them is environmental education, financial literacy, nutrition, and even STEM-related workshops. I think they're an asset to our community. They engage many of our young people, and they offer fun activities, including prizes and rewards. So it's with great pleasure that I ask you to welcome the 4-H Club from Arlington, Virginia. Thank you.
Welcome, 4-H Club from Arlington, Virginia. Thank you for coming. Thank you for what you do. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Boysko, the senator from northwestern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for another introduction as well.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I have the 4-H Club from Fairfax County here today, and it is my pleasure to give them a warm welcome. Frying Pan Park, which is located in Fairfax County and in the 38th district, is the home of where many of the activities take place, and I always enjoy going and seeing them in action. Our Fairfax County 4-H youth program provides innovative opportunities that meet the evolving needs of our urban youth with limited resources who are continuing to fulfill the needs of our young citizens in all communities. The 4-H youth program provides learning by doing fun educational opportunities from 5 to 19 years old. And I don't think anybody has said this yet today. Nearly 5.2 million youth participate nationwide in 4-H, and I ask that you give them a warm Senate welcome as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And as the senator said, 5.2 million youths participate. That's 5.2 million lives that are changing because of their involvement in 4-H. Thank you for what you do. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair again recognizes Senator Hackworth, the senator from Tazewell.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise again for the purpose of introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Today in the gallery we have students from Radford University, and they came by my office earlier today and introduced themselves and was telling me about all the great pathways and programs they are in, studies to become model citizens and be productive in our society. But Radford University is, I have the honor of representing Radford University, which is a public university in Southwest Virginia that was founded by the Virginia General Assembly in 1910 and currently enrolls over 7,500 students. Radford University is one of the most accessible and affordable public institutions in the Commonwealth. 91% of Radford undergraduates are Virginians, and 29% are first-generation college students, and they enroll one of the highest percentages of Pell Grant recipients across the Commonwealth. One of the little-known fun fact about Radford University is that they have a legendary ghost story associated with its campus. It is believed that a ghost named the Night Watcher roams the grounds of Ingalls Hall, one of the oldest buildings on the campus. According to the story, the Night Watcher was a former security guard who tragically lost his life while on duty, and since then, students and staff have reported eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena in the area. So if you are at Radford University and you hear unexplained footsteps, it could be the Night Watcher. So, Madam President, I ask that you would extend the warm welcome of the Senate to these fine students that are with us in the gallery today. Thank you, Madam President.
Good afternoon. Normally, unexplained footsteps means you run, but if it's from the corporeal, it can't hurt you. So, you look so wonderful and so professional in your role as ambassador for Radford University. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your advocacy on behalf of your university. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair calls on Senator Surville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I'd move that we take a recess for 20 minutes, and I'd ask upon recess that the members of the Democratic caucus meet back here in the ante room, not the closet. Thank you.
Madam President,
Chair recognizes the senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
if the Republican members could go downstairs to their normal meeting place.
The Senate stands at recess for 20 minutes.
This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. the Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. the Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. the Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. the Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. The Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
The Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats.
Madam President, a message from the House.
Please receive it.
The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Maldonado.
Madam President, I've been directed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates to inform the Senate that the House has agreed to HJR 99 and requests the concurrence of the Senate.
Thank the delegate. The Senate will be at ease. Chair recognizes the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Surville.
Madam President, I move that the rules be suspended and House Joint Resolution 99 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and House Resolution number 99 be taken up for immediate consideration? All those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Chair again recognizes Senator Surville.
Madam President, I move that the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution number 99 be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The resolution is agreed to. Senator Surville is directed by the chair, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, to inform the House of Delegates of the action of the Senate. In the meantime, the Senate will be at ease until the senator returns safely. To order. The senator having returned. Now then, the time for the joint order for certain judicial elections has arrived, and the Senate, on its part, is ready to proceed with the execution of House Joint Resolution number 99. Nominations are now in order for a judge of the Court of Appeals of Virginia. Chair recognizes Senator Surville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the rules be suspended, the Committee for Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and the Senate Resolution number 15 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the Committee for Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 15 be taken up for immediate consideration? All those in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Chair again recognizes Senator Surville.
Madam President, I move that the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution now be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for judges of the respective circuit courts. Chair recognizes again Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the rules be suspended, the Committee of Courts be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 16 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended, courts of justice be discharged, further consideration of the resolution, readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 16 be taken up for immediate consideration? All those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Senator Surville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the resolution be agreed to.
Shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to. Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, a message from the House.
Please receive it.
The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Maldonado.
Thank you, Madam President. I've been directed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates to inform the Senate that the House has made certain nominations pursuant to HJR 99 and requests the concurrence of the Senate.
Chair thanks the delegate. Now then, nominations are in order for judges of the respective general district courts. Chair again recognizes Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the rules be suspended, the Committee of Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration, and that the readings of the titles be waived, and Senate Resolution number 17 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the Committee for Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 17 be taken up for immediate consideration? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended for the resolution to be taken up for immediate consideration. Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the resolution be agreed to.
The question now is, shall the resolution be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for judges of the respective juvenile and domestic relations district court. Chair recognizes Senator Surville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move the rules be suspended, the Committee of Courts be discharged, and further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 18 be agreed to.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended? The committee...
Sorry, taken up for immediate consideration. I'm sorry.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended? The Committee for Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 18 be taken up for immediate consideration. As many as are in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Chair recognizes Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for a member of the Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission. Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the rules be suspended, the Committee of Courts be discharged from further consideration, that the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 19 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee for Courts of Justice be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution 19 be taken up for immediate consideration? All those in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to.
Madam President.
For what purpose does the senator from northwestern Fairfax County rise?
I would just like to, for the record, my machine was not working. I wasn't able to record my vote.
Is there a reconsideration?
President.
We'll do a yellow sheet, I am told by the clerk, if that's all right with the senator. Chair recognizes again Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall Senate Resolution number 19 now be agreed to? Those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for members of the State Corporation Commission. Chair recognizes Senator Deeds, the senator from Charlottesville.
Madam President, I move that the rules be suspended, the Committee on Commerce and Labor be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 20 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee on Commerce and Labor be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and the Senate Resolution number 20 be taken up for immediate consideration? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Chair recognizes the senator again from Charlottesville, Senator Deeds.
Madam President, I move that the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? Those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to.
Rouse.
Chair now recognizes, before the chair recognizes, nominations are now in order for a member of the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission. Chair recognizes Senator Deeds, the senator from Charlottesville.
Madam President, I move that the rules be suspended, the Committee on Commerce and Labor be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 21 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee on Commerce and Labor be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and Senate Resolution number 21 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll. Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. Senator Deeds.
Madam President, I move that the resolution be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? As many as are in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to. Chair now directs the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Surville, to inform the House of Delegates of the nominations that have been made by the Senate. Accordingly, the Senate will stand at ease until the senator returns. Come to order. Pursuant to the joint order, it is now in order that the rolls be called. As many as are in favor of the nominee of the Senate, as named by Senate Resolution number 15, to be a judge of the Court of Appeals of Virginia, will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll. Ayes 40, no 0. All in favor of the nominees of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 16 to be judges of the respective circuit courts will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. All in favor of the nominees of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 17 to be judges of the respective general district courts will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. All in favor of the nominees of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 18 to be judges of the respective juvenile and domestic relations district courts will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. As many as are in favor of the nominee of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 19 to be a member of the Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. As many as are in favor of the nominees of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 20 to be members of the State Corporation Commission will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. As many as are in favor of the nominee of the Senate as named by Senate Resolution number 21 to be a member of the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The chair now appoints Senators Perry, Salim, and Jordan. The committee on the part of the Senate to count and report the vote of each House in each case. The Senate will accordingly stand at ease. The Senate will come to order. The senators will take their seats. The joint order under House Joint Resolution number 99 will now be resumed. Clerk will read the report of the committee to count the vote.
The committee has reported as follows. Number of votes necessary to elect in the House of Delegates, 51. In the Senate, 21.
Chair again recognizes Senator Somerville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that to waive the reading of the report.
The question is, shall the reading of the report be waived? All those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The reading of the report is waived. Therefore, those named in the report as having received the vote of a majority of the members elected to each house of the General Assembly are declared duly elected as a judge of the Court of Appeals of Virginia, as judges of the respective circuit courts, general district courts, and juvenile and domestic relations district courts. Also, as a member of the Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission, as members of the State Corporation Commission, and as a member of the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission, for the terms that have been set forth. We have now come to the end of the judges. Well, not exactly. Is there any other business to come before the morning hour? For what purpose does the senator from Eastern? Hearing none, the clerk will call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. Uncontested calendar. Senate bills on third reading.
Chair calls on Senator Somerville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate bills on third reading, uncontested calendar on pages 1 through 6, Senate bills 232 to 644, be placed on their final passage in the block. Any senator desiring to remove the bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill.
The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested calendar, third reading, pages 1 through 6, Senate bills 232 through Senate bills 644, be placed upon their final passage in the block with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bills. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will now read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 232, Senate Bill 6, Senate Bill 26, Senate Bill 150, Senate Bill 158, Senate Bill 168, Senate Bill 180, Senate Bill 82, Senate Bill 353, Senate Bill 400, Senate Bill 545, Senate Bill 572, Senate Bill 644.
question is, shall the bills in the block pass? All in favor of passage of the bills will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Regular calendar, Senate bills on third reading. Senate Bill 657, a bill relating to alcoholic beverage control, annual mixed beverage performing arts facility licenses, on and off premises wine and beer licenses.
Chair recognizes Senator Reeves, the senator from Orange.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask the bill pass and speak of the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, this is a bill that, for those folks that are new to the chamber, has to do with alcohol food beverage ratio. For those who have been here forever, this bill has come through this chamber several times. This is a bill that will adjust the food beverage ratio, the 45%. So if you produce $10,000 of gross food receipts a month, you're going to be what's the word, carved out, I guess is for a better word, or you don't have to comply with the M-bars because you're actually selling a lot of food. Between 4,000 and 10,000, you'll have some M-bar requirements as well. And so this goes to bring a little more parity to the spirit industry. Beer and wine have always been about $3,000 a month as all the food they had to show sales receipts for. So we learned after COVID and some of the things that we did not have a great expanse of bars on every corner or everything else. So that whole theory they used to do to kill this bill just doesn't pan out. We've made a lot of progress with regard to spirits in the state. We'd like to continue that progress and bring parity across the board. There were nobody really spoke against the bill while it was in committee. There was a question about one of the things. I think we've cleared some of that up, and so I'd ask the bill pass.
Chair recognizes Senator McGuire, the senator from Goochland. The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 2.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The bill passes.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on second reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Sorovell, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move all Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 7 through 8. Senate bills 13 through 618 be advanced to their engrossment and third reading in the block after adoption of any amendments thereto. Any senator desiring to move a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill.
The question is, shall all Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 7 and 8, Senate Bills 13 through Senate Bills 618, be engrossed in advance to their third reading in the block after the adoption of the amendments thereto, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The clerk will now read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 13, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute, and from the Committee on Local Government.
Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the substitute be adopted.
The question is, shall the substitute be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is adopted.
Senate Bill 90, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Senator Locke, the senator from Portsmouth.
From Hampton.
I'm sorry, Hampton.
Madam President, could Senate Bill 90 come out of the block and by for the day?
Without objection, Senate Bill 90 is out of the block and by for the day.
Senate Bill 475, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Senator Reeves, the senator from Orange.
Madam President, having voted on the prevailing side in which we passed Senate Bill 657 on its third reading, I need to claim mea culpa, Madam President. I spoke to the wrong bill, so I'd like to reconsider that vote so I can explain the bill correctly. No, I'm getting a timeout.
I was waiting for you to finish, sir. You may finish.
Madam President, I am done, according to the clerk, so I will sit down.
Yes, sir. If we could finish this section, and then we'll come back to you.
Senate Bill 475, reported from the Committee on Local Government. Senate Bill 618, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
The question is, shall the bills now be engrossed and advanced to their third reading? That is, all bills except for Senate Bill 90 on page 7, which is out of the block. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills are engrossed and advanced to their third reading.
Madam President.
For what purpose does the senator from Orange rise?
Having previously stood up and been made a fool of, I'm going to go ahead and request again, having voted on the prevailing side in which the body passed Senate Bill 657 on page 6, I ask we reconsider the vote.
The question is, shall the vote by which Senate Bill 657 passed be reconsidered? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The bill is reconsidered. Senator Reeves.
Thank you, Madam President. I asked the bill pass and speaking to the correct bill.
The senator may continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senate Bill 657 has to do with performing arts facilities. It changes the current system of how performing arts facilities are licensed to serve alcohol. The past few years, we've been trying to condense these licenses to get to where they don't have to get 2 or 3 different licenses with some of our bigger performing arts. So under the current law, individual performing arts facilities need to seek permission from the General Assembly to be included in the code section to serve alcohol. What this bill does is change the code to use an overarching definition of performing arts so it catches like the national and some of the other bigger events, allow newly constructed performing arts facilities to go straight to ABC for their permits. It will simplify our code and to ensure consistency in ABC code, instead of having to come back to the General Assembly every time individually to have to come get one for a performing arts facility. And with the correct explanation on the bill, I'd ask the bill pass.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 32, noes 2. 38, noes 2.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The bill passes.
Regular calendar, Senate bills on second reading. Senate Bill 47, a bill relating to firearm transfers to another person from a prohibited person, reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice.
Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that this bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 134, a bill relating to Economic Development Authorities, Craig County, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Chair recognizes Senator Head, the senator from Botetourt.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that Senate Bill 134 be engrossed and advanced on to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 171, a bill relating to zoning, civil penalties, commercial uses, reported from the Committee on Local Government with amendments.
Chair recognizes Senator Craig, the senator from Chesapeake.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask that that bill go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 171 goes by for the day.
Senate Bill 296, Local Planning Commission action on proposed plats, site plans, and development plans, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Chair recognizes the junior senator from Enrico, Senator Van Valkenburg.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that Senate Bill 296 be engrossed and moved to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 316, a bill relating to conservation of trees, Town of Vienna, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Chair recognizes Senator Salim, the senator from Central Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that Senate Bill 316 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 447, a bill relating to firearm in unattended motor vehicle civil penalty, reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice.
Chair recognizes the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Marsden.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the bill be engrossed and passed to its third reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Substitute Bill 595, a bill relating to Comprehensive Plan Healthy Communities Strategy, reported from the Committee on Local Government with a substitute.
Chair recognizes the senior senator from Enrico, Senator Bagby.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute is agreed to. Senator Bagby.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the bill be engrossed and moved to its third reading.
The question is, shall the bill now be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on first reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Sorovell, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that all Senate bills on the first reading on the uncontested calendar, pages 11 through 15, Senate bills 9 through 360, that the rules be suspended and the first constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first constitutional reading of the titles of Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 11 through 15, Senate bills 9 through Senate bills 360, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Senator Sorovell.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that all said bills be passed by for the day.
The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars now on second reading go by for the day? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills will go by for the day. Senator Sorovell.
Inquiry of the clerk. Does that complete the calendar?
Yes, sir.
Nothing to quell debate like a good old-timey judicial election. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Is there any other business to come before the afternoon hour? Hearing none, the clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Wednesday, January 24th, the Committee on General Laws and Technology will meet 30 minutes after adjournment, Senate Room B, GAB. The Committee for Courts of Justice will meet 30 minutes after adjournment in Senate Room A, GAB. The Agriculture, Conservation, and Natural Resources Subcommittees on Companion Animals will meet at 4 p.m., Senate Room C, GAB, Senators Favola, Stanley, and Pekarsky. Thursday, January 25th, the Finance and Appropriations Subcommittee on Health and Human Resources will meet at 7:30 a.m. in the Senate Finance and Appropriations Room, 13th floor, GAB. Senators Deeds, Eben, Obenshain, Reeves, Favola, and Boysko. The Committee on Education and Health will meet at 8:30 a.m., Senate Room A, GAB. The Rehabilitation and Social Services Subcommittee on Cannabis is meeting at 9 a.m. in the Senate Room C, GAB. Senators Servell, McDougall, Reeves, Rouse, and Van Valkenburg. The Republican Caucus will meet at 11:15 a.m., Senate Room 2, Capitol. Democratic Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 1 of the Capitol.
Chair now calls on Senator Lucas, the senator from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 12 noon on tomorrow.
The question is, shall the Senate adjourn until 12 noon tomorrow? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate now stands adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.